After her husband passed away, an elderly woman made a chilling discovery. Her husband had always seemed like an honest, decent man, yet hidden in his safe was a videotape of the most extreme kind. After watching what was on it, the old woman was left frozen in place. The tape captured the murder of a young girl, and from the camera angle, it was obvious this wasn't a movie. It looked more like a real recording of something that actually happened. Puzzled as to why her husband would keep something like this, she hired a top-notch detective at great expense to uncover the truth behind it. At first, Detective Tom didn't take it seriously, writing it off as just some cheap, sleazy film, nothing worth making a fuss over. But the old woman insisted he watch the whole tape before passing judgment. Tom, puzzled, did as he was asked, and after watching it, he was utterly stunned. The girl on the video suffered unimaginable torment. The footage so graphic that Tom broke out in a cold sweat. Nothing about it looked staged. Tom forced himself to sit through the entire tape, and by the end, he couldn't tell whether it was real or fake. He suggested handing the tape over to the police, but the old woman fiercely rejected the idea. She came from a wealthy, prominent family, and involving the police would tarnish the family name. She told Tom that if he could uncover the truth behind the tape, money was no object. She'd pay whatever it took and provide him with every resource he needed. Seeing how much she was willing to invest, Tom immediately took the case, and it was this very case that would lead him to a truth beyond anything he'd imagined. Back home, he gathered his equipment, brought his service weapon along, and sent his wife and kids to their rural hometown. He had a hunch this case carried real danger. With his family settled, Tom headed straight to the Missing Persons Bureau with a still from the tape, determined to trace its origins. The first step was identifying the girl, but after hearing Tom out, the staff told him that millions of people go missing every year, all with filed reports. Tracking down one person was like finding a needle in a haystack, and the Bureau had no spare manpower to help. With no other choice, Tom sat down at a computer and began sifting through mountains of files one by one. As expected, after days of searching, he turned up nothing. It seemed he'd have to refocus on the tape itself. He watched it frame by frame, over and over, until he finally noticed something. The tape had been filmed 20 years ago. He reported his progress to the old woman and asked her to check her husband's financial records from 20 years back for any suspicious expenses. Then Tom printed stills from the footage, and that's when he spotted another key detail. The masked man in the tape had a star tattooed on his hand. After relentless searching, Tom finally found the girl's information in the files. Her name was Mary, and she was only 16 when she disappeared. The report was filed 19 years ago, meaning Mary never made it home after the tape was made. The footage was real. The thought sent a chill down Tom's spine. To find out what had happened to Mary, Tom posed as a bureau agent and visited her family. Mary's mother told him that Mary had been going through a rebellious phase, had a terrible relationship with her stepfather, and fought with the family constantly. One day, the stepfather, furious, slapped her hard and Mary ran out of the house in a rage, never to return. What struck Tom as odd was that Mary hadn't taken any clothes or luggage, hadn't even left a note. That didn't fit the pattern of a runaway. Tom then searched the girl's room for clues, and his persistence paid off. Inside the toilet tank, he found a plastic bag containing a diary, and tucked inside it was a note, Mary's letter to her mother. It explained why she'd really left. It wasn't because her mother had hit her. She'd gotten a boyfriend, and they'd planned to go to Hollywood together to make it big. Once she became a star, she wrote, she'd come back and take her mother to live in the big city. Tom slipped the note into his pocket, deciding not to tell